Used to have some of my favorite shows, but now it just has a bunch of stuff like this.
Coming this summer, the romantic comedy that will make you cry. She was grass.
I really hope things can work out between us.
And he was a gamer.
Look, I don't know what's going on, but I just kind of want to play some Valorant.
Will these two ever make things work?
Please come outside, I just want to see you.
Or will their relationship get cut short?
I'm getting closer to Radiant, but I'm so far from you.
Tune in this summer for Lawn of Love, only on Netflix.
Bro, what the fuck happened to Netflix?
But wait, before we get into that, I need to tell you guys one last thing, okay? And that is to enjoy the video. Thanks for 10K. Peace. And I'm making this video because, to be honest, bro, I just really want to get to the bottom of what's been going on, because there's been articles and so many people talking about how Netflix is just booty, and I just want to explain it all in one cohesive timeline and everything that's really wrong with it. Way more importantly than just Netflix, I'm talking like subscription services and streaming services in general, because they're looked at in such a negative light now than compared to what they used to be. I mean, despite now there being so many services that you really don't care when a new show or a new like station just opens up their own out of nowhere. This at one point was the most innovative way to share media and movies across the world, and it was all started by two random guys. Agent name, Reed Hastings. Agent occupation, started a tech company. And agent name, Mark Randolph. Agent job, worked for Agent One's company. These are two young and up-and-coming engineers under the same roof of a company called Pure Astria. And one day, these two were in a carpool, probably going to go pick up some Chick-fil-A. Was there Chick-fil-A in the 90s?
Chick-fil-A.
It was founded in 1946. Okay, I guess that's perfectly reasonable. Okay, so one day, Mark and Reed were going to go and probably pick up some Chick-fil-A. While they were riding around in this car, a new idea for a company popped into their head. You see, at this time, the only company that mattered when it came to ordering or watching any movie, show, anything you wanted on demand, Blockbuster. Blockbuster at one point was on top of the goddamn world, bro. They just had control over it. There were like little brick and mortar mom and pop shops that would like sell VHSs of certain movies they had, but Blockbuster was across the country selling whatever thing you wanted to see at the time. Their success really came from the fact of how simple it was to get these movies. Like, you just walk in, you say, hey, can I get Sharks vs. Femboys 4? You put it on the table, you bring it out, you bring it home for like a few days, you just slide it back in. It's like a library, but actually entertaining. And coming along with this new year of 1997 also came DVDs. Replacing the old blocky VHS, DVDs were really lightweight and they were circular. You could put them in boxes, or you could just have them stack on top of each other, and they could store more and different content like music and movies. With this new introduction of these lightweight ways of transporting content, our two developers had an idea. I feel like the conversation went a little something like this.
Hey, yo, Mark. Randy, yo, what's up, bro? Are you seeing Blockbuster coming out with those new DVDs? Yeah. And Blockbuster's getting like that. I don't like that Blockbuster's doing that, man. Blockbuster's just like so annoying, man. Yeah, I mean, one time I tried to turn in my DVD and like I was late and they charged me extra, and I thought that was bullshit. Yeah, me too, man. I don't know. It's like, I just feel like there's so many possibilities and equilibriums that open up when you open up the consiglio thesis of the new lightweight form of service, you know? Yeah, maybe, yeah. What if we, like, sold DVDs? Like, by ourselves? For real? Alright, fuck it, let's go.
And thus, Netflix was born. These two were then the co-founders of a little company on its grind. But just like any startup, there was a lot of pitfall. Like, money was an issue for Netflix for a while, you know? Getting off the ground, getting enough workers, getting enough money to buy all these copies of DVDs and then send them out across the world, it was expensive at first. And they didn't actually start doing the subscription model until a little bit later in their company's life. But still, besides all this, I can't deny Netflix's rise to power was kind of incredible. I mean, just imagine it, right? You're deep down in the dark in the basement like a Redditor just typing away, and then you get a knock at your door, you're like, oh, who is it? Oh, you know, it's nobody. It's just Jeffrey Darnell Bezos. I don't know his middle name. And he pulls up talking about how he wants to buy your company for $15 million. Mind you, Netflix at this point wasn't in the best of spots, so they probably could have really used this money to get their company off the ground a little bit more and, you know, succeed in improving their service. We don't even need him. Easily one of the coldest parts of Netflix's history is how they turned down Jeff Bezos because they kind of knew that they were going to be successful. Mind you, Jeff made that offer like 2 months after the company actually went public. And you know, like you see, they said that and they were all confident and shit, and I bet they were kicking themselves because almost a year later, they were damn near bankrupt. Now that's a slight exaggeration, but for real though, these guys were kind of in the gutter when it came to money. And things weren't looking too good for our boys at Netflix. But things were only looking up for our guys at Blockbuster. They were making eyes at each other from afar, man. They knew of each other's existence. But Blockbuster just kept on chugging, bro. They implemented DVDs like it was nothing. Netflix approached Blockbuster and offered for them to buy their company. They were like, listen, Blocky, baby, we have this idea for this new service that could revolutionize media and sending it across the world. All you would have to do is give us 50 mil and you can have all of our company, all of our assets, all of our technology that we set up for this, and it could take your company, which is already huge, to the next level. Nah. Why? Trust me, bro, that mail shit ain't going nowhere, bro. We are at the top of our game. We're the forefront of the future, and we don't need you. Go bankrupt. Fuck you. And it's almost like history repeated itself. Just like Netflix did with Amazon, Blockbuster cut them off and said, nah, you guys can just go out. We're not taking the deal. And that exact moment was one of the worst decisions in company history. Mind you, at this time, Blockbuster was worth billions. 50 mil wasn't a problem, but Blockbuster didn't see the vision. However, Netflix did. New websites, new API, boom. New promotion, new ads to bump up the site, boom. Bump it, bump the Netflix stock, bump the site views, bump the amount of movies in the library. And this was just the beginning, because things went to a whole new level when Netflix finally introduced their streaming service. A one-of-a-kind service where you could just go, sign up for a couple dollars a month and watch an endless amount of movies. And that was like a tables turning Uno reverse card moment, because at one point, Blockbuster was just dominant, and now, yeah, Blockbuster didn't really do too well innovating with the new streaming features. They kind of thought, you know what? No. You know, I think people are going to love our company forever. We are perfect. We are the future. People are going to be using Blockbuster in 2038, bro. If you want your movie, you got to come get it, you fat bitch. And there was even a point where you could tell, like, Netflix didn't really want Blockbuster to just die out. They made multiple offers, but they just kept on denying. And I believe there was one time where Mark had some beef with like a higher up at Blockbuster. And then this altercation happened, which is kind of famous now. And after a lot of meetings and weird business arguments, I believe it was Reed Hastings that said in an interview, Blockbuster has thrown everything at us but the kitchen sink, which then Blockbuster did probably the coldest thing I've ever heard, and they actually mailed Netflix a literal kitchen sink. At that point, the war was just on and it hit a climax, but after this point, Blockbuster really just fell the fuck off. They tried to make their own online and mail service, but it just couldn't compete with Netflix's. And at this point, Netflix was just on top of the world. They were standing above everybody, bro. We are the future. They had a bunch of shows that people loved and they were getting more and more expensive. But one cruel thing about the world is that when you're on top for too long, you start to get complacent. They were starting to feel great. They were implementing new features and new search algorithms, and they started to feel like no one can touch them. One surprise, they were wrong. It feels good to be us. Yo, it's the Flicks.
Hey, Flicks, my boy. I just wanted to let you know that you might have some competition coming up soon. Just letting you know because like there's like this service dropping called Hulu or something, and they're basically doing what you're doing, but they're aiming for a cheaper price.
Oh man, don't even trip about that. What'd you say their name was? Hulu, bro.
All right, man, if you say so, but you might want to be on the lookout. I'm just saying.
People really trying to compete with us out here. Wild. Another one? Yo, Flick, you ain't gonna believe this. Okay, so remember that one Jeff Bezos guy that wanted to buy you out? Well, that guy said fuck it, and he's made his own streaming service, and they are so goddamn rich. You might want to be worried, man. I don't even.
Bro, I think we're still good. You know, like tell me if it gets really bad. Like, call me again if it gets really bad. But other than that, just don't worry about it. All right,
bro. Again, I'm telling you, be on the lookout for competition. Be ready, cause like shit, y'all did so well. People are trying to do better than you.
Deuce, peace out. Oh fuck. Oh.
You ugly as fuck. You out of pocket. 218.
Hello.
Yo, Flicks. Yo, Flicks. I got some bad news, bro. Y'all are kind of beefing with Disney. Yeah, so Disney dropped their own service called Disney Plus, and Disney kind of owns all that stuff. They bought out all the Marvel superheroes. They also bought out ESPN, who has their own streaming service with every sport. They also bought out Hulu and put even more shows on it. So yeah, they dropped their own service with every Disney movie imaginable and every Marvel movie imaginable, two of the most popular types of movies in the world, not to mention that they're selling all of their services in one bundle that's cheaper and more high quality than yours.
What the hell, man? What?
Yeah, bro. You're on your own for this one. I'm not fighting with
Don't
Disney.
leave me here. Oh no! Just like that, bro. People started catching up to Netflix really fucking quickly, and Netflix then went on this bender of having really, really bad decisions. But before we get into that, I need to ask, how you doing, bro? How you doing? You chilling? You cool? You enjoying the video? If you're not enjoying it, trust me, man, I won't be mad. Just wanted to check up on you, you know? Look at this dog. Ain't that shit cute as hell? Anyways, yeah, Netflix started fucking up bad. Alright, so from what I found out, right, since I'm not like the owner of any super successful company, I can't really go off experience, I can only go off of what I read from this How to Start a Business WikiHow article. The two most important questions when it comes to any company is how are you going to make money and what are you going to spend that money on? Sorry to flip you off. And Netflix had problems when it came to both of these aspects. Netflix originally made a lot of money from its cheap subscription service, but over time it's been inflating a little bit. And not even like the good inflation, it's like the bad economy inflation. And this started to drive people away as other services like Amazon Prime Video and Hulu would offer similar movies and shows for way cheaper prices. And to stand out from their growing competition and to separate themselves and make their price tag on their site worth it, Netflix didn't just start renting shows, they started producing them. Netflix originals, baby. To compete with normal TV and other streaming services, Netflix decided to, put some shows specifically on their site to sit there and stay for anyone who subscribes to watch. This actually started off like as a banger idea because they had House of Cards and that was a huge success. But it didn't always stay at this level, as time went on and on. The quality just started dropping. And while sometimes they'll have their hit, they'll have their Squid Games, they'll have their Arcanes, like 8 times out of 10, they miss heavily. And led to one of Netflix's main problems today, which is how they fund bad content. Now, I know the term bad content is subjective and a little vague. I know that not everyone will see what I consider to be bad content bad at all. But when half the originals in your catalog have worse ratings than Cars fucking 2, I think there's a problem here. The main problem about this is that Netflix spends so much money on these originals that it's losing them money. It's been losing them money for years, but they kept on funding them. And they kept on jacking up their prices just so they can afford all this. A lot of that money wasn't going to very important features that Netflix didn't focus on, like, I don't know, advertising for certain shows. Netflix, when releasing shows, has also been going off of this binge model that they've had for a long time, where they'll hype up a show for weeks and then drop an entire season of that show. And just that practice that they've kept doing has been killing off the hype of so many shows. Because one way to keep people on the site for longer, and one way to keep up the hype for a show and make it get more popular, is by releasing episodes of a show weekly, like an anime or a TV show would do. At least initially, when a new show comes out, it's fun to where one episode comes out and everyone sees it and everyone talks about it, then the next one comes out the next week, instead of just, oh, have you seen all of this show yet?
Nah, well, I can't talk about it because it's spoilers. Are you up to episode 35? Nah, bro, I'm on 2. Fuck. Compared to the other method, which keeps everyone on pace, on track with each other. Not to mention how sometimes Netflix will royally fuck up when it comes to advertising. Like, I don't really blame them for not advertising as much after the whole cuties situation happened. I am genuinely sorry to remind you that this movie exists. And that's not even the end of it, man. I'll tell you another thing that Netflix is terrible at spending money on. Their animation department. God, RIP the animation department. So if you don't know about this, Netflix has just been destroying its animation department, firing a lot of executives, creative directors, canceling popular animated shows, and they canceled out on all these people working really hard to make original and great shows for the platform. Also, they can focus their money on more commercially popular stuff like The Boss Baby and other cartoons on the site, a lot of them being adult cartoons. Like, what genius decided on this one? So we can either spend our money on animating one of the most popular comic books of all time, probably bringing in millions of subscribers just to watch the show, or Chicago Party on season 2. And Hoops and Paradise PD. Like that, this makes me so mad, man. This is not a rant video. All right, it's not a rant. This lazy art style that's shared by almost every adult animation show. I hate it. I hate looking at it. It's something that's so lazy, but it's just detailed enough to where, you know, you can call it adult animation. You could put little boobies on that blob if you want to. But yeah, Netflix doesn't only spend their money on bad content, they also spend it on new features to try and stay current, you know? For example, these 2 new features that were added to the Netflix mobile edition. One called Fast Laughs and one called Games. Netflix saw the success of platforms like TikTok and Instagram Reels, so Netflix made a similar format where they show you various clips of different shows and you just scroll past them, you can leave a like, and if you like the clip, you can just go straight to the show to watch the rest of the episode it came from. This feature is honestly not that bad, it helps people decide what to watch, but there's also this other feature called Games, because Netflix saw the popularity of gaming. So yeah, you open up this tab and there's various mobile games you can download. Alright, let's see, bro, what's this, Kittens? Let's see what this is. Oh my god, it's literally just fucking Candy Crush. I don't know what I was expecting, but it wasn't fucking this. But since Netflix is also spending all this crazy money on all these new features and new originals, they need to make more. You know, they rise up their price again of their subscription. But this time, since a lot of people want a cheaper version of Netflix, you can get one in 480p with ads. That'll get them to stay. And they don't even want you sharing accounts anymore. Netflix is doing something that no other streaming service has done, but this time in a bad way. See, sharing accounts between multiple people has been a thing on pretty much every streaming service, but Netflix wants to put an end to all this damn piracy, so they want to crack down and grab people's IPs so they can't share. Like, man, chill out. Why? You're just making more people leave. That's all you're doing with this. Oh my god, I didn't even talk about the anime section. Oh my god, bro, they don't even release shows correctly. But I think the main question on a lot of people's minds is, will Netflix ever improve? Will all of these faults and failures, will they ever come back from it and bounce back? Well, the truth is, I don't know. I'm just a guy in his room eating some pizza. But what I do know is that what Netflix has done for so many indie like creators and animators, and the amount of entertainment is provided to its users around the world, just starting up from nothing is nothing short of incredible. Personal fact, I really love stand-up comedy. I mean, it's definitely inspired the style of video I do right now, minus the comedy part, because I'm not making any of you laugh. Like watching this video with a straight face. I think stand-up comedy is one of the most impressive forms of media out there, and it's well known how much good a Netflix special could do for a rising comedian. And looking at what Netflix has ready to put out in the future and the amount of resources they still have, I think that Netflix will always be around in some capacity. But the one thing that's going to topple Netflix and many services to come is the problem of oversaturation of content. Think about it. One problem with Netflix now is how you could scroll for hours and not choose anything to watch because there's just like too many choices. Well, now imagine that same issue with a bunch of other services with an infinite amount of more shows to choose from. It's one of the main reasons why YouTube's been killing it for so long. They could do literally whatever they want and they'll be fine. YouTube will always be relevant because they basically have a monopoly on the video sharing market, because literally all of their competitors were either bought or died out mysteriously. And YouTube's even trying to take over the live streaming market, which
they're doing a pretty good job of it. One thing that keeps platforms, creators, and content thriving throughout the years is individuality. But no matter how many originals they put out, and no matter what shows they license to themselves, as long as they're seen making money, there will be someone out there ready to just go and do the exact same thing. And if Netflix continues to make these scrambling decisions and spending their money in the wrong places, then their fall is going to come a lot faster than we'd all expect. And that's also the reason why I believe the paid streaming service market will only get more and more complicated, and my urge to just go on Google and type in this small phrase gets stronger and stronger every day. That was the story of Netflix and the inevitable demise of the streaming service. But I'm just a guy though. I'm not even gonna act like I'm smart or anything. If you enjoyed this video, then YouTube thinks you'll like this one too, and god damn it, guys, thank you so much for the recent growth on the channel. Check out my links in the description, and I hope you guys have a great day. Peace, peace.
Like and subscribe. Like and subscribe. If you like RT60, you should like